Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing this March the 28th, 2025 noon update from just north of downtown Detroit inside the mobile compound under a cloudy and rainy, very rainy early spring day here in the great state of Michigan, right? Jay, what is the current official temperature now that we know that it is raining there? It is 46 degrees, Jay. And we ask you to bell notification, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and share to get that truth, education, and information and trust that you've come to expect and deserve as we are with you, all of you, changing the sphere and changing the narrative in crypto. Still do not want to buy you to truth and education and information to make it to where you in a super simple and easy way so you can make a informed and educated decision for yourself with the facts and the news without all the fleecing, without all the paid promoters and the infiltrated influencers that just try to play on your emotions to get you to buy whatever they're selling and to fleece, heist, and shiest and let all the whales walk away with all the fucking money, right? So if we look at what we're doing in the Bitcoin price, we are down and become members of Jabroni Killers. I've made it an industry cheap. $3 and best value, most importantly, $3.99 to keep this channel pushing forward and to spread our message and to help us to continue to build what we have going on here. Unlike all these other promoters and insiders that are on here, they have you charge 15, 30, 60, $100 to join their stuff or more. When we're doing it for an industry cheap and best value, you can see on the left shoulder here with the first mover advantage, we figured out we had a neckline that developed on the left shoulder back here. And then we had the blow off top with the Donald Trump induced rally. And we identified a head and shoulders short to medium term topping out reversal pattern. I'm going to go quickly here. What's the power of Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing and the value when you're wondering why you want to support the channel as a jabroni killer? One, first mover advantage. Two, when you're got the inside information first and you identify something, that is where all the profits are made and that is where the best advantages are by seeing things ahead of the market. When we got here, we noticed that this was ahead, right? And we drew it out and we identified that as the neckline that we just went over. Then we seen on the second run up, this was a mountain double top. Top one, top two, broke the all-time high, but barely wicked down. We went from top of the head to the neckline, to this local neckline, to the point of a breakout, and that got us down here to 73,877 and change. We already knew that we had a head and shoulders topping out reversal pattern. We thought we were in the right side of the head. When we identified that, the value we're getting into here, the 58,900 neckline, the first local top was the neckline up here that it had support and resistance on. You can see you bounced here, you tried to bounce here, but got rejected. And then we knew that the next underneath target was 73,877.45 because of this double top right here. And this is the value. And now you can see we have this dinosaur or turtle, as I call it, where the shell is right there, and then the conveyor belt of the turtle is the head. And these are often short-term bullish continuation patterns, but then they break down very, very quickly to the downside. And we've been telling you that there's likely to be a bullish bearish cross. And last week, with the first mover advantage again and the value of Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing, we thought there could be a rally from here. And we were saying last weekend that we could go between the 200 and potentially as high as the descending overhead 50 near that 89,876 horizontal support or resistance level. And you can see now it's attempting to break down. It could still try to touch that, but even if it does try to touch that, the next major underneath target still is down here. And you have the education and the information to stay level-headed and understand where we're at in the market. And then I believe towards the summertime, we're going to hit this neckline. I believe we're hitting this neckline. I don't think it's if, I just think it's when. And we're to continue to stay on top of that with the news. And if anything in the technicals or the news switches that, obviously I'd be the first to tell you, but I have not seen anything yet that would indicate that that's going to happen. The same thing with the XLM price. We were targeting this area as I think there's going to be a golden bearish cross in here too. where the 50 is going to get below the 200-day sitting at 28 cents. We were telling you at a top end potential of about 29 to 30 cents on this descending 50. We've had a pretty significant dump down from last night, from yesterday, started the reversal, and then today it's down almost 5% at current price. Uh, we're eventually, whether we get another short-term bounce this weekend, we're coming back down to this 25.5 cents, and then I believe we're going to break that, and we're going to eventually end out at the 18-cent level, and then we could have a pretty substantial rally. There's a rally watch, in effect, a short-term rally watch from 18 cents to potentially as high as the 29 or 30 cents. So we'll continue to watch that. And again, the value of Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing and why you support and become members of Jabroni Killers. As you can see, we were in this head and shoulders topping out reverse. Still do not want to buy you. I wish I could hit permanently decline. Uh, we identified this head and shoulders when we were just off the 340 high, right into these daily candlesticks right there. We drew off this pattern. The rest of the field still thought this was a short consolidation and it would quickly get to 450 or $5, but we gave you the first mover advantage when the price action was about right there. And this is all that we had off the big pump. And then still the rest of the field didn't see it. They thought this was another bull flag where you had a consolidation and it was going to quickly break off to that 450 or $5 range. And we kept telling you, no, 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 no. Old Vincenzo's reading the tea leaves, and old Vincenzo's giving you the truth, unbiased, and the information straight up that you need to know. And then it became apparent that that was not going to be a bull flag here in a continuation after we had a big flush on February the 1st to February the 3rd, where we went down greater than 30% on the wick, much greater than 30%. You can see in a 2-day wick down fashion, or really a 3-day from the breakdown, we went down 42.28%. And that's when everybody started seeing this station. And that's when the mainstream caught on to what old Vincenzo was saying, and that you guys, the first movers, understood the structure of the overall short, micro and long-term macro time frame, and you understood what was happening. They all caught on to this head and shoulders pattern about right in here. And old Vincenzo told you that they would be doing that. They would catch on and they would act like they knew what was going on the whole time when they didn't. And then those same people that didn't understand the market on this 1 4-hour pump, when they released that news on that faithful early Sunday manipulated morning, they thought that was it. It was off to the races again. But old Vincenzo quickly came on to keep you out ahead of what was happening on a spontaneous morning update, to keep you informed and to let you know that the price was going to come down. That was a manipulated pump based on the data to maximize the retail investors' emotions. And then if you went on to all these shyster crypto stations that morning, they were playing the pump. They were playing the hype. They were playing your emotions just to get you fleece heisted and shysted. Similar but a smaller scale, last Wednesday when the Fed did their interest rate hikes and the Ripple news finally got the court case got resolved. We told you again we were expecting a 255 hit and a rejection, and we would eventually trade back down towards the neckline, right? And that's what we're doing. And I still expect a technical breakdown in the next month or two, or potentially 3, to that $1.29 level. Like the channel, subscribe, get the information, the truth, trust, and education and knowledge to make informed and educated decisions. Be part of the growing movement. Be part of the change. Be part of the new narrative in crypto of education, truth, profitability, and trust. Members of Jabroni Killer, subscribers to the station, and all of my lovely viewers, I say peace and love with the Rock's Eyebrow J.